Hello guys, today we're going to be experimenting with this Arduino Nano right here. I plugged it into the breadboard. The breadboard is just a place where you can plug in wires on a board. So that's in there pretty tight. I'm not going to take it out. So we're just going to hook up a little circuit with it. Got some various things over here that we can mess around with, like LEDs and buttons. So yeah. We also have a buzzer that we're going to put into it. So yeah, this is how I make the songs that, the little buzzer songs that are in my videos. So, I would plug in the first thing I do is I get out one of these little wires back here. They're really tiny wires. But you plug it into one of these outlets in this board. So yeah. So probably I'd want to put it in, let's see, ground reset VIN, 5 volt, 5 volt, 5 volt wouldn't fit in there, so yeah, I'll get back to you when I put the circuit together. First connection is going to be ground right here to your ground line down here. To your ground line right here. So now ground is connected to the blue line right here. And now you're going to want to connect up the red one. So red line is 5 volt. So that means VCC. And I'm just going to plug it in there like that. So now we're going to want to take something from another board off. And that's going to be the power line connectors. Okay, so now we're going to connect this this blue line to this blue line, and this red one to this red one. So I'm going to connect the red one to the red one with a green wire and a blue wire for blue. Okay, now we have these blue and red lines connected together. So this you can power anything with 5 volts through this one right here. So say I needed to power white. Yeah. So there we have the wiring connections, but we will have to put other wiring connections to power the different things on our board. So LEDs do not need to be powered with 5 volts, but you can if you have the proper resistor. But the reason we're doing 5 volts is because some sensors are operated on 5 volts and ground. So we just put this line down here in case we need to use one of those sensors. Plus, this potentiometer right here uses 5 volts as well. And the buzzer actually uses 5 volts as well too. So say I wanted to put this buzzer on. What you wouldn't put it on 5 volts unless you wanted it to ring without stopping. So to vary how much it buzzes, and you're gonna want to use one of these D pins up here. So there's D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, And there's also these transmit pins and receiving pins. Those are for things that have to do with the serial monitor. And yeah, there is to be all kinds of serial ports down here and all kinds of digital ports up here. So serial has to do with things that are serial, and digital has to do with things that are digital. Digital things are things that you can program. Serial things are things that you can't program. But serial things are things that you can get data from. So yeah. Okay, we have what is called a reset button. So RST stands for reset. So say we wanted to install a thing that will can reset. We'd put the wire up here and a wire to ground. So you don't have to program anything for this. It automatically does it. So, but you do have to put the wires in. So yeah, now that we have that, let's plug this in and press this button right here. You can see that the light blinks. That means that it resets. And this is just a little reset button right here. So to show that I'm actually resetting it, I'm going to put a light and I'm going to put it on a digital pin to ground. So with these lights, the bigger one is positive and the smaller one is ground. So I'm just going to plug that in right here, like that. We have a reset button right there, and we're going to need to get one of these pins. So you're going to want to take a resistor, and you're going to span it from, so this is a 220. This is good for LEDs. So about 10 milliamps is what, about 10 to 20 milliamps is what a LED can handle. And if you put anything above 20 milliamps, yeah, your LED is going to die. So I'm putting about 10 milliamps into this, so it's going to be bright. So we're going to go from D2 with the resistor to that pin with the resistor. So now digital pin 2 is connected to the positive side of the LED. Now we need to ground this part of the LED. So let's just get a grounding wire. I have one right here. You plug ground in, then you put ground to ground like this. Now there's a little white in here. So now that we're actually dealing with the digital pins, we have to program the white to turn on and off. So let's go into our software and program it. Okay, if we are trying to program this little light right here, we need to plug in our Arduino Nano, and I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna show you how this program would work. So you want to go into File. You want to make sure that, go to Tools. You want to make sure that you're on board Arduino Nano. And whatever port you're on, I'm on port 4. Go put your port in. Your port isn't going to be the same as mine, or it could be the same as mine. But go to Examples. Go to Basics. Go to Blink. And you're just going to open that up. There's all kinds of things showing what it is. Now, instead of LED built-in, which is pin 13, if you're trying to run it like it's the LED, so you're gonna want to go type in pin 2, because that's pin 2 on all of these, on the digital rights and the pin modes. And this is what your LED will do. Your LED will stay on for a second, and then the after the second it'll turn off. It'll wait a second. It'll turn back on. So say you want to. This is measured in milliseconds. 1,000 milliseconds is exactly 1 second. So say you wanted to wait 5 seconds um, when it turns off, and 1 second when it turns back on. Now I want to make it turn on every 5 seconds it turns on, and every 5 seconds that it stays off it turns back on. So you're gonna want to upload that to your sketch, to your Arduino Nano. So it's just gonna start randomly blinking up, blinking the LED light up. So when it downloads, it still has the little green bar. You're gonna wanna press the green button before the 5 seconds just to show you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, it's staying on 5 seconds, turning off the other 5 seconds. Now, when it turns on, I'm going to press this button. It's going to turn back off. It's going to reset, turn back on, and then do the sketch all over again. So, you do that, it turns back off, it turns back on. So, what I'm doing is I'm resetting it, and it's re-uploading the sketch. So, just to do this, I'm going to make it so it stays off longer when it starts up. I'm gonna make it so it starts a delay right here for let me see, let's do a delay for 10 seconds, which is 10,000. Then you're gonna upload that, and you're gonna see a 10-minute wait before the LED turns back on when you turn it off. So right there you see that it had an error. That means that you need to put a semicolon behind whatever above whatever is red. This isn't always the case. You could have a different error that you need to change something else in the code down here, but yeah. So it's gonna reset when it's uploading the sketch. So just wait a couple seconds. Now the reason I was able to install all kinds of stuff on this side is because I had this power coming into the white. Not the power. The power comes from this board. The way that it gets back is it goes down to this board. It goes up through this wire down back into the board. So now it's going to be waiting 10 seconds, but now it's going to wait 10 seconds before it turns on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it should turn on in about 5 seconds. Okay, now that's how your board would work. Down here is where the code is. As you can see, this is all the code that you're going to need. Change any of these delay to whatever you want. Try and do this reset button thing. I had to pre-make this. So say you wanted to ground it without having a button. You just put the ground thing, the reset thing there, and then put it down into that slot right there. To show you, I'm gonna put it down in there while it's running. And I plugged it into the wrong thing. I plugged it on into the ground on the other side. So watch this. As soon as I plug this part into this part, it's going to turn back on, but it's going to reset. So this is basically the divider from it turning on and off. So say watch me put this back in. It reset right there on the dot when I push that in. So this is basically like the divider. When you press it, it allows the thing to go through the little white. So yeah, this sketch right here is basically allowing you to do that. Now you can reset basically what you're doing on this board. So any project that you have on here, pressing that reset button will reset the whole thing on the project, and then turn back on after it resets it. Now the reason they put the reset is just so in case you like did something to hurt it, you want to press the little button and it'll show you and it'll make it work again. Basically like turning on and off a computer. So yeah, right here is our little circuit that we did. If you want to see more things about passive buzzers and LEDs, go watch the other video.